Hey, what's going on YouTube? It is GeneralTarheel bringing you the APA Season 6 Week 2 battle versus John Jr. and the Portland Nightshaders. Quickly, we are going to go into a team builder for this week before we hop into the battle like usual. And quickly, to go over last week, if you don't want any spoilers, you have a second to click off of it, but otherwise I'm going to say it right now. And we did lose, unfortunately, to Monotui 0-3 because of Terrakion being insane in the sand and being probably the best tier 2 pick overall. So, yeah, you just played really well. My team really struggled versus it. Ideally, I could have done a few different things, mainly only in prep. I feel like in battle at that point, I was kind of just screwed with what I brought, and I kind of did my best. He just made the proper plays, and he had a really good matchup for those Pokemon, so it worked out for him. Alright. But for this next game, we're going up against my boy JJ. He's made my logo, the Charlotte Charizards logo, which is absolutely beautiful, that y'all greatly appreciate, and I can't speak at all. That's great for commentary usually. But make sure to check out John if you haven't yet. He's amazing. He's grown exponentially, and I'm really happy for him throughout the past few years. And he's been doing really well. His grow and art has been amazing too. Good friend, good buddy. He's awesome. Make sure to check him out if you haven't for some godforsaken reason. Alright, but for the build, we have horse versus horse this week. We have Terrakion versus Terrakion. It's going to be pretty interesting. This is technically our second mirror match already because we had a Reboot versus Reboot last week, even though none of us, or neither of us, brought Reboot. I feel like both of us are going to bring Terrakion. Terrakion kind of 6-0s both ways. It's ridiculous how much damage that thing can do for both of our teams. So he has Ribombee, Swoobat, Terrakion, Kyurem, Rotom Wash, Duraludon, Gmax, Chandelure, Claydol, Garbodor, Bisharp, and Gliscopod. Looking into this, there's a few things I'm scared of. It's mainly the Terrakion, like I mentioned, massive threat. Duraludon's an amazing offensive Gmax Pokemon. It's going to be a big pain to deal with. Quiver Dance Ribombee can be a little bit annoying because my main check to that will be the Mantine, which in the end isn't going to be doing too much. If it does just start Quiver Dancing in front of my face. Ribombee can also bring webs, which I'm able to defog with Mantine, which I'll get to soon. But in general, webs can be annoying for my team because I really like to abuse the fact that I have some Pokemon like Terrakion that can outspeed majority of his team. Chandelure's good if it brings specs or anything. It's going to be able to do a lot of damage. I'm trying to bring things to work around that pretty well if they have to bring it. If he wants to bring Claydol, that's totally fine. Even that's probably be the best defensive check he has to Terrakion potentially. Maybe that or Garbodor. Garbodor could be a little bit annoying, especially with like T-Spikes. I don't really know if he'd bring that though, since my Grounded Poison is my Gmax Pokemon. I don't think that makes the most sense. He's gonna have a check somewhere for Gengar. Might be in the Bisharp that we see here. Bisharp I'm not really that worried about. Good Pokemon, but I'm not really worried about it. Gliscopod is something I'm worried about though. That thing is amazing offensively. Decent bulk too. Emergency exit of course sucks, but heavy duty boots really helps it out this generation for sure. So I have to be careful of that. Rotom Wash is going to be a pain bulkily to get rid of, and then Kyurem is one of the main threats in this matchup. I don't really have the best things to deal with it. It just runs special and it spams Freeze Dry. That's all it needs to do in this matchup. It doesn't need to do anything else. Nothing is better than that. But yeah, so that will be difficult. But for the 6 I am deciding to bring, we're leading off with Celebi. We have Peter Pan here. So we got Pan for the nickname. We got Shiny, Focus Sash, Celebi, Giga Drain, Psychic, Aura Sphere, and Stealth Rock. Now with this, I can easily get up Stealth Rocks immediately turn 1. If I don't see Claydol, I'm really not expecting any removal. Even though Rotom Wash can have defog and everything, I feel like I'll still be able to deal with it well and I can get up Rocks turn 1. And ideally this is just a good lead for me nonetheless because I have coverage for everything on his team. The only time I wouldn't want to lead this is if I see Ribombee. And I'm expecting Ribombee to be one of the 6 that he brings. But if he doesn't have Ribombee at all, Celebi is always going to be my lead. Or if I'm really expecting a specific lead, then I'll be able to just lead Celebi and deal with it properly. Now with the defensive investment that we have, even though we're Sash, this helps us deal with Bisharp if it's Scarf Adamant. If we come on Stealth Rocks, we're still able to take a Throat Chop from that thing. If it's like Adamant, Life Orb, Sucker Punch, we're still going to drop, which is unfortunate, but we're just going to hope he doesn't have Rocks up at that point, if that's the case. And for potential physical Kyurem, I also have that defensive investment. It lets me live 3 Icicle Crashes after Stealth Rock. Icicle Crashes, thank goodness it doesn't get Icicle Crash. Three hits of Icicle Spear after Stealth Rocks. And if he DDs, then I still have a chance to take 2. Also, if he's just purely physically offensive, I'm able to take 2 Dragon Claws or a +1 Outrage with this defensive investment, so it works out well. I didn't really need too much in special attack investment, as we can see. And the speed, I just needed to barely outspeed what was his base, 95? It's Kieran. Yeah, of course, Kieran, because Massive Threat. And Aura Sphere is going to help me out a lot with that. Overall, Giga Drain Psychic Aura Sphere just good things, or good coverage versus his team, and it weakens it well for the rest of the Pokemon in the back. Now, one of the Pokemon that we said 6-0s, I don't know what he's going to bring for his track, but mine is going to be a substitute leftover set. Max speed in case I have to try and speed type versus Terrakion. I really don't want to try and do that, but just in case I have to bring it. So I didn't really benefit too much from like just making sure I outspeed like his next fastest Pokemon in Kyurem. I didn't really benefit from that bulk too much because it's not that much of a difference. But Close Combat, Rock Slide, Mega Horn, and Substitute. I don't want to miss a Stone Edge, so I feel like Rock Slides could be a little bit more helpful, especially since I have like security of the Substitute potentially. Mega Horn purely for that Claydol, weak to a KO it even if it's max defensive, which is great. Sub's gonna be pretty huge. I'm going to have to decide when I'm gonna want to show Substitute, because I might be able to bluff Scarf in this game, which could be pretty big for me. Considering that could just threaten his own Terrakion for not coming in and trying to revenge me. Because I have to, of course, see if he's going to be Scarf. That's the main thing in this matchup. Because that's just the main thing to get around our own Terrax, as well as some of the things that can revenge it. Because like my Gengar, of course, can G-Max and then revenge his Terrak. And he has Ribombe and stuff like that, which is a little bit annoying. So I feel like Terrakion can do plenty of work. No setup really needed. The Substitute just lets me set up safely behind something and 2-KO the thing that wants to come in. Next up, we have Aromatisse here, and our Trash coming back. Offensive Trick Room set. At first I had a defensive, but this made a lot more sense in my eyes. We have Trick Room, Psychic, Moonblast, and Nasty Plot. Now the Nasty Plot's not realistic for setting up, but just in case I'm able, if I live a hit versus something that's out in front of me, that's gonna just let me abuse it and potentially OHKO everything instead of 2-KOing, which is pretty big, because Life Orb Moonblast actually does a lot of damage. And the Life Orb Psychic does, after +2, I actually have a chance of 2-KOing Chandelure. It's a roll if he's no HP invested, and stuff like that. The Psychic, of course, also helps me hit Pokemon like the... Sorry, I have to pull it back up. Mainly the Garbodor, which is his Poison type to switch in on the Fairy. That's mainly just the only other thing I'll click in Psychic first is just Psychic on Chandelure and Garbodor. Everything else is going to have to take a Moonblast, which does a lot of damage, and which is really nice. The Life Orb helps with just those damage rolls and getting off the most possible under Trick Room. This could be a potential late game sweeper if I weaken the team enough, or it can use it early game after Celebi's already done something to pick off a few Pokemon and to weaken more of the team for Terrakion late game, or my Braviary, which we'll get to shortly. So this thing's going to do a lot of work. At first I considered it being defensive for the likes of Terrakion, but in the end, I don't think it's really going to matter because Terrakion can't just have the coverage of potential Iron Head or Poison Jab, which is going to be pretty annoying, and if it's like offensive Life Orb or Choice Band, then it's not going to make a difference at all. Even then, a Choice Band Stone Edge, which is kind of free versus my team, especially the team that I brought, it's going to be putting in hurt, so I feel like there's no real point. The offensive actually has a pretty good matchup. Next up, we have Goodra here, Goobster. He has no switch in that choice specs whatsoever, so we are bringing modest specs with Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, Surf, and Flamethrower. I have Draco Meteor, of course, just for the most damage, Dragon Pulse in case I outspeed the remainder of his team, because some of his bulky Pokemon are actually kind of slow after it's from Chandelure and below. But I don't really expect any of those to be the case. It's also just in case I can eat a hit and I don't want to drop my special attack. That's the main thing. I guess that goes either way, whether it's speed or bulk. But Surf also just gives me a move to hit Chandelure handy, Claydol, Terrakion, in case I just don't want to get this Spadef drop or I don't want to lock into Dragon Pulse yet because Ribombe's still in the back or something. And I'm running Flamethrower just so I can 100% hit versus Ribombe instead of risking Fire Blast. That same goes for Bisharp. I want to make sure I can land versus it and just get off the chip necessary to where I can revenge it with the proper thing after. Yui helps me versus Terrakion. I can take a hit and then lower his speed, which is huge because then my own Terrakion can outspeed. Unless he's Scarfed and it comes down to a speed tie or webs are up, my Terrakion won't be able to outspeed after and deal with it appropriately. That's the only main physical Pokemon with good speed that I have to try and get gooey on. But Sap Sipper didn't really want to help here. Technically it helps versus like Chandelure Energy Ball, but he doesn't really have a grass type other than just the coverage of Energy Ball between Rabombe and Chandelure, which is not necessary at all because they're going to be clicking Shadow Ball Stab on Chandelure and Moonblast, of course, on Rabombe, so there was literally no point. Hydration is irrelevant because there's no rain necessary here. Next up, I'm bringing Scarf Braviary. This thing I think has an amazing matchup and does, once again, really well at weakening the team, or really good at cleaning up and blocking into close combat late game. That's the key here. We're bringing Choice Scarf Sheer Force Max Speed so I can speed tie Chandelure if necessary, because I feel like that has potential being like Scarf Trick or something. So if he is Scarf, that will be helpful. He doesn't really have knockoff users, actually, that I'm looking at. I think it's literally only Bisharp. I think maybe Garbodor. Like, he doesn't really have much, if any, apart from Bisharp. So I'm not really worried about losing my Scarf and like speed tying without Scarf. But if it were to happen, then I am able to speed tie the Chandelure, which might be important. But in general, I just felt like it was fine to just throw it there. I didn't really think I needed any more bulk per se, because I'm not the Spadef setup set. Brave Bird, Close Combat, Crush Claw, U-Turn, that's all I need. U-Turn for momentum, of course. Sheer Force, Clutch Claw actually does really well versus his team. He does have, of course, resist in Bisharp, Chandelure, and Terrakion, and Duraludon. But it's good damage still, because I don't have to worry about locking in and setting myself into something else. For example, if I lock myself into Brave Bird, he goes into Rotomosh. He now gets a free Volt Switch versus my team because I don't have Ground type. If I go for, or I lock into Close Combat, he still has Rabombe or Chandelure. Then he's able to Quiver Dance with Rabombe, or potentially get a substitute off, or get off a Specs hit, or Calm Mind with Chandelure. Don't want to do any of that either. These are all things to take into consideration when I'm going for a neutral hit. I feel like if I bring this in at all in the early game, I'm mainly clicking U-turn just to scare him out and get a pivot for chip. I feel like that's all I'm really going to do. But if I need to, I can click that Crush Claw for overall good neutral chip versus this entire team without having to force myself into one set move. So in general, being locked, the only real scary thing is probably Chandelure, because that's deals with two of the moves that I want to lock myself into, which is a little unfortunate. But overall, he does not enjoy Brave Bird. His steel types aren't that great in my opinion. Duraludon's really good offensively, and it does have some bulk behind it. Especially it's going to be max, but still whatever. And yes, you have Rotomosh, but I'm going to be weakening that thing with this entire team because he doesn't have the best bulk that wants to come in versus my team. I feel like Rotomosh is going to be his answer for most of these things. And speaking of something that is absolutely free for Rotomosh, we have Mantine here. Mantine with the heavy duty boots, Water Absorb, Air Slash, Scald, Roost, and Defog. We have to bring Defog to get rid of the webs, as well as rocks can just be a little bit annoying for Braviary and stuff like that. Mainly I need to get rid of webs. Of course it doesn't affect my Trick Room or Otis, which is a nice benefit of having that, but it really hinders Terrakion, which is going to be the main thing of breaking through his team. So I want to make sure to get rid of that if I can. I have to bring Air Slash in order to try and deal with the Rabombe. I want to try and force Haze on here, but I felt like Scald was still a necessary spam move versus him. In case he is locked in, I could still go Mantine and just like Scald. If he was to be locked in with Terrakion with CC or something, for example. Originally I considered being Chardy, but like Scald still doesn't do too much versus Terrakion, and then I'm just relying on a 30% burn for one hit when Heavy Duty Boots is more reliable and helping me get off defogs. So I'm opting to go with that. So I can easily always pivot into Rabombe if he just opts to go for U-turn pivot and stuff like that, which I'm most scared of. But Mantine just still feels like a necessity for Rabombe, Chandelure, and Duraludon does get the Thunderbolt coverage, which makes it a little bit more annoying in this matchup, but at least I can help it like somewhat stall, maybe, just by switching around by having Mantine, which is nice because of his natural Spadef Bolt to take a Dragon-type move or something, or the Steel-type move on switching. It also really helps me versus Gliscopod. Now, Gliscopod does get Rock Slide, but with our investment, if he is Heavy Duty Boots Adamant, we're all able to take 2 Rock Slides from an Adamant one, so that's totally fine with me. And I think that just about does it for the team. Wasn't really debating anything else. Yes, I think Gengar still would have been fine. but I'm relying on some of these coaches to over-prep against the G-Max because they are just that scary, and I feel like this team is still solid without it. Anything else? Obstagoon? Nah, I didn't think Obstagoon was that good. I would have to force Scarf, and with the immunities he has versus some things, like, once again with the Chandelure, I felt like it was a little bit annoying. Because Terrakion just comes in, or Ribombay comes in, and that's really hard for my team to deal with. So I didn't want to bring Obstagoon for that sole reason, because he just gets outsped, and then it's really annoying for the rest of my team to try and come back from that major loss of momentum. But apart from that, I feel like the team's very solid. I can't really nail down an exact 6 I expect them to bring. For sure, they're going to be Ribombay, Terrakion, Kyurem, Rotom Wash, Duraludon. Yes. Then maybe Glycopod. I think that's a 6, Ben. Honestly, that might just be the 6. He could toss out one of those for, like, potentially Chandelure. Maybe Bisharp if he's really worried about Gengar. But yeah, that's all I can really say. So that's going to do it for the team builder. I hope you guys enjoyed the in-depth thing. Hopefully it didn't take too long. Oh, this did take long? Okay, never mind. But we'll go right into the battle nonetheless. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. I did already do the battle, and I'm just going to mention it. The audio is still a little bit off, but I wanted to post the live comm, but I do have it fixed for next week's battle. Long story short, I'm an idiot, and it's fixed, so don't worry about it. So starting next week, the live comms will be working totally fine. You don't have to worry about audio desyncs. I know it exists, and if anyone says anything about it in the comment section, you're rude. So, and I'll just timestamp it to you. I will literally timestamp this exact moment to you, just so you know that you just skipped a point and it wasn't noticed to you. But I just don't want to post comment again, and I feel like the live comment was still pretty good. So. But that will do it for me, guys. Look forward to the battle coming up in a second. Bye-bye. Hey, what is going on, YouTube? It is GeneralTarheel bringing you the second week versus John Jr. and his Portland Knights Shaders. Alright, so I'm going to quickly go ahead and decide on my team here. I think if he is a Ribombay lead, I don't necessarily want to go with my ideal one. No Chandelure. That's amazing. Might just lead Braviary? Yeah, I think that's good versus him. If he just leads Track, that will be unfortunate. But I will stick with that. If you didn't check the team builder, I'm quickly to go over the team. Sorry. Not really quickly. We got Sash Celebi with 3 attacks, Stealth Rocks. We got Toy Scarf Braviary with Sheer Force Crush Claw. We have Terrakion with Substitute, 3 attacks, lefties. We also have a Choice Spec Scoodra with Draco that just destroys. Excuse me. We got Mantine. There's the Ribombay lead, thank goodness. Do I click Crush Claw here? Or do I just go for U-turn? Probably Sash. I'll go for U-turn. U-turn right out into Mantine. Mantine is the heavy-duty boots, mainly Spadef, Defog, Scald, and Air Slash. General Stud? Hey, that's me. U-turn on the Bisharp. That does some... Oh, that's a crit. I was like, ooh, that's some damage, baby. Alright. Hopefully the live comm works this time. I was debating on... Ooh. Lucha or Mantine? Or you. You're really tempting. I also live any hit, and I can get rid of that. Gujar just clicks Draco. But if he goes into Ribombay, that sucks. That gives him free webs. I'll go Celebi. Pan for Peter Pan. Come on here. Alright. So I'm probably just going to go for Sphere. I live a Sucker Punch, obviously, because of my Focus Sash. If he goes for anything else, he's dead if he decides to stay in. Oh, he's Scarf. Well, now you're dead. I lived. Word. Ooh. The new tech with Celebi. Sphere's nice. Alright, so Bisharp's gone. That being Scarf is actually really good for that being gone. Thank God I didn't consider going Tarak. Mantine might have been the better play overall. Is this Ribombay? It is Ribombay. Okay. Do I value getting up rocks? I think I just go hard Mantine. Selby can still help me out later. Yeah, I'm just go hard man. We got Defog, we eat hits with this. If he's Quiver, that's actually an issue. Now that I think about it. Nope, he just U-turns. Probably getting in track. This is when it would have been perfect. It was Charty. I was originally Charty, but I changed it to Boots because Webs is annoying. Also, if I come in on rocks, Stone Edge was like always killing me no matter his set anyways. Yep, it's in. I have to save this though. I'm just going to sack Sully. If he sets up, that's really unfortunate, but I'm going Celebi. I need Mantine. Because I can just lose with him having webs up. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for set up here. Nope, just rock slide. Perfect. He's Life Orb. Okay. Does he have a switch into CC? Oh no. Or I'm just gonna go hard Terrakion. Honestly, make him think I'm Scarf. I don't know how smart of a play this is, but he doesn't have. No, he doesn't have Claydol. Substitute's a pretty good play. But if I win the speed tie, I just want to click CC. I really hope he doesn't risk this. He should know I'm Scarf. Or supposedly Scarf. Yeah. Battle of the two horses. He did withdraw. Did he go into Glyspod? Yeah. Dang. I knew the better play there, but it's okay. At least we don't reveal we're lefties yet. Lefty sub. That's really good. Alright, so you have a free attack here. You know I'm going to go into Mantine, and you do have Rock Slide. So I'm going to go right into Goodra. I feel like this is a safe play. And then also, I'm just able to click Flamethrower versus you. Does make a double. Duraludon. This sucks. Not even gonna lie. This sucks. I'm not Haban, so I do take a hit though, I think, unless he's physically offensive. I'm gonna just go for Draco. If he goes for Vombi, this will be unfortunate, but once again, I'm always gonna make the switch into Mantine. Always. So. Alright. Knowing his Life Orb track is very nice because it was going to be close considering if one of us was Scarf track. I think my subset is really going to help me out in this game. So me not revealing that yet is huge. Rocks might be a priority. Oh no, I got rid of Selby. Oh, he does just max. No surprise. I think I live? I can't recall. I don't even know if I calc this, actually. I think I was only calcing Max Wormwind from, like, against Celebi and stuff like that. Pretty sure I drop. Depletion, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this kills me. Oh, we live in. This Draco's about to get him in CC range. We do hit. Bruh, that thing almost dropped completely. That's insane. I know its Pedef sucks, but I don't sack here. Or no, I do sack. Oh, Aromatisse is looking really good, too. There's no point in him switching out. Yeah, he goes for Steel Spike. Defense, doesn't matter. Still dropping a CC. Go right out into Tarak here. I'm gonna go for CC again. he makes a switch out in a Guzma, emergency exit will happen. He might try going into Rabambi then. And I think I'll still switch into Mantine. If he lets this thing goes down and then he goes into Glycopod, I'm clicking Rock Slide. Oh, he does save this thing. Jeez, I really wish I went for so. Oh, he went. Pardon? Okay, we take those. We take those. We absolutely take those. I think he overpredicted expecting me to go for Rock Slide. I don't think that was needed. I think he just sacked the Duraludon there. Rabambi. I want to go for Rock Slide in case he's Quiver. I take a Moonblast. Do I need this for anything else? Kyurem is nice. Actually, I really need this for Kyurem, don't I? It's just, if he's Quiver, I can lose. Yeah, I can't risk that. I'll just go for Rock Slide here. Goes for Webs. Okay. Alright, now that he's Webs, he's definitely not Quiver. He's not even Sash. Okay. Actually, do I just win now? Like, he has Kyurem. That drops the CC unless he's Chople. And I'm not going to risk a Stone Edge. I'm just going to click CC. Duraludon's going to drop to anything. What's this other one? Take a picture. Hold up. Bisharp dead. Glycopod. He has to go Glyco here. Even then, I take an Aqua Jet. I think Track might just win. Hopefully this Rock Slide connects. Just go for Aqua Jet. This shouldn't do more than 50. That is banded. That is hardcore banded. Emergency exit. That is fine. So he still does have a check in the back to Tarak. That's good to know. Duraludon. This is just a sack. I'm clicking CC though. At least we're gonna get more lefties. Alright, so Duraludon's dead. He has to go back out into it. If he goes Kyurem, it makes me believe it's Chople, and I'm still just clicking CC. And a Glycopod's really nice for him. I was really just expecting heavy duty boots, because that's just so good for Glycopod, considering its terrible ability. Alright, so I'm 1,000,000% have to save this for Kyurem. Don't want Braviary to take that hit. As soon as I trick him with the Aromatisse as well, I win. Let's go for Banded Rock Slide. No, Aqua Jet. Okay. So if he's sub Kyurem, it's going to suck. I'm going to go hard Aromatisse. Even if he's banded, I might not get to a KO. I'm always faster than this thing, so we don't know anything yet. Did he switch? He did withdraw. Absolute zero. Go for Trick Room always here. Because we're not going to kill with a single Moonblast. He's DD. Alright, now we for sure won. So I think we just click Moonblast a few times. Because he shouldn't be able to kill me, KO me. I don't know if this thing gets Iron Tail. Even if he does, Terrak just comes in and cleans it. Oh, this drops, okay. I think I was calculating like bulky. And we're going to be able to KO the Glisopod as well. That was a really fast battle. Oh my god. How long have I been recording? Only 13 minutes. Jeez. Alright, we click Moonblast and we should be good. Alright, so I was really surprised about that Terrak play. The two Terrakions in the matchups, I'm sure I'm going to talk about this in the team builder at the beginning of the video, but they 6-0'd both ways. It's insane how much damage they did. This Aromatisse came in clutch. Very, very good with the Trick Room. Happy with that 4-0. Really coming back after that unfortunate loss from Amano. I hope the recording went well. If not, I'm going to post-comment again, unfortunately. But hopefully the audio is all good since it was a shorter recording. And I'm going to make sure to see you all next week. Very happy after that. Let me know what your favorite of the three is about Terrak. And that's going to be it. Sub, like, share.